Da-da-da-da.
Too bad there wasn't an old theme song we could cue up here.
I know.
Or an old PowerPoint presentation slideshow.
There is. There's like the old, here's the old BS Ryan. Here's my hands, and I'm showing you whatever. No, okay. So today, we're going to go back in time.
YouTube!
Yeah, what's up, YouTube? We're going to go back in time. We're going to talk about the history of two-part solution, Bulk Reef Supply and BRStv.
Yeah.
All right, so.
We're going to do it in record time, too, because this is 4 pages here, which is longer than what we had before.
There's 3 hours of material. We're going to do it in 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Randy and I got another live to go. I'll tell you about it later. All right, so but you can join us for yet another live after this live if you'd like, or join somebody else. All right.
Cyber Monday.
So, the end.
It's the end.
I don't know, like my family misses me. All right, so this isn't going to be a play-by-play of every last milestone of Bulk Reef Supply, which would be a total snore fest.
Yeah, it would.
This is going to be some fun behind-the-scenes stuff that's happened here, and some of the stories related to that shaped, you know, the future of what we did here. Mostly failures.
Yeah, not the same story that you've heard before of, so we made reef chili and you did the book and you made MJ mods. No,
you'll hear a little bit of that stuff, but we're going to just breeze over it. And so mostly the failures and the lessons that we had. So a little bit maybe just interesting for you guys to know, you know, how we evolved from 2 dudes in a bucket of you know, calcium chloride to Bulk Reef Supply and BRStv.
This dude.
Yeah, me and my partner Andrew Dunneman, who never comes on camera. But I'm going to tell you, the big heart of it is dare greatly. All right, so you know what dare greatly is.
I do know where it comes from.
It's Theodore Roosevelt quote. I'll share it with you later. It'll become clear why. If you already know dare greatly, you'll probably get it immediately. But you know, dare greatly. All right, so BRS. I'm going to start right when I picked up my first tank. This is like a little bit pre-BRS, right?
Yeah.
I walked in the store with $2,000 in hand. I walked out with the same $2,000.
Because nobody would sell you a tank?
Well, I walked in there like, what do I need? I'm ready to go. Like, I've been saving up this money. You know, I walked in the same store. I decided I wanted it. Walked out in there like when I finally thought $2,000 would get me there, and nobody wanted to take my money. And like, just tell me what I need. I'll go home. I'll do the research. And like, well, you maybe get some, and then I walk away. I'm like, oh, whoa, really? Like, there's like a line of people in here just waiting to give money. And then like, I don't know, maybe 2,000 isn't enough for your time. Crazy. I walked down to the store that was literally a block and a half away from there and had the exact same experience.
That's weird.
I know. Well, that's what it is. I didn't know. This is like the lessons part. You know, they're going to start to come in here. I didn't know at the time, but this was the experience. This experience that I had was the foundation of BRStv. I went in there looking for very simple information on how to spend money here at this place.
Saltwater tank.
And like start a tank. I thought the place that sold tanks would be the foundation of where I do that, and no, neither of them wanted to do that. I don't know. So BRStv would also eventually provide that information, how to start a saltwater aquarium and stuff like that.
And a whole bunch more.
Really condensed, easy to consume format. I did not know that at the time, but that experience was so frustrating and hard for me because I went back and I had to read books and I had 3,000 posts on a forum and blah, blah, blah. All right, you guys all heard that before. Okay, so then the next thing is I was told my Tampa Bay saltwater live rock wasn't going to stay alive. All right, so you guys heard all about that story.
Oh, yeah.
I got
we were
this
talking about foods or what were we
No, it was live rock.
We were talking about live rock.
Yeah, so I got this rock. Yeah. It's soaked, or it's shipped in water from Tampa Bay all the way to Minneapolis. Covered in filtration or filter feeding life.
Sponges.
I'm committed, man. I'm going to keep it alive. Everybody on the internet's wrong, right? Me, I'm going to do it. So the way I did that was make a coral food, and you know, I extended the life of that stuff quite a bit, but ultimately
more than most.
The internet was right. All right. So I didn't know it at the time, but the success of keeping a lot of that filter food alive for quite a bit of time was the foundation of reef chili. So solving a problem, I need to kill these things. I need to provide food and nutrition for these very hard to care for animals, and reef chili was born out of that. All right. Next one is I burned up $2,000 on my floor in my basement. I just piled up all the money. I poured lighter fluid on it. I just set 20 grand on fire.
20 grand? You said 2,000.
Oh, I know, 20 grand. It was called a frag tank system that I was gonna had these 2 big 4 by 8 foot containers, and I had a whole array of clownfishes I was going to breed. I like there's a mad scientist lab down there. Had to like reroute new power in from the pole and everything to support it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was growing so much coral in my tank. Of course, I can grow it in these things, and then I can quit my job, right?
No.
No. Did not turn out that way. I failed at it hard. I found out. I would now know a whole lot of different reasons. It's a whole other story about why I failed. But they didn't grow in the frag tanks the way they grew in my tank. I'll tell you why later, another day. But
the lesson
here is success is measured by the number of failures, not successes. Right? And you guys have probably heard that on a meme 100 times, right?
Yep.
Okay, it's so true. I mean, if I look back at that at the time, I set all the money on fire on the floor. I would say that was a terrible mistake. I should have never done that.
Yeah.
Now I can just I learned all the lessons I learned from that. I apply to this day. You know, and so it was some of the most valuable mistakes I ever made. Is actually setting all that up.
Get up and fail. Try it.
All right, MJ Mods. This is in my basement now. I'm making my table saw and drill press. Andrew and I are lucky to have our fingers still. Andrew Lawson, actually, different Andrew.
Yeah.
So what we were doing is you had to have this
guy.
little notch to lock into your maxi jet, and you had to be on a PVC pipe. And so I'd wheel up the saw blade on the table saw just about 1/8 of an inch, push it up against the rail, and then we'd spin it along the edge, and everyone should catch. You know, fingers still here though. I don't know.
Jeez.
Same thing with the drill press. I mean, we're just like DIYing this stuff, you know, and so like I don't have mills available to me. I'm just like trying to do projects. Every once in a while, when we were drilling out, they had to drill out the inside of these PVC fittings to get the insides out. Every once in a while, the glove would catch. I don't know. Anyway, it was all worth it. But this is the success I learned at this point is success in business isn't about selling what it is that you want, right? So all kinds of people have this idea, I can make this thing and people will buy it.
People will buy it.
All right, it's actually recognizing the existing demand or challenges that people are really facing and then helping them solve them, right? So the MJ Mods thing, I want to turn a $20 pump into a $200 pump, and I want all the value from it. With the Reef Chili thing, what it really was is it's like, a dozen and a half, like 15 different foods that you could go out and buy yourself and mix together, but each one's $20 and you'd have a decade's worth.
Yeah.
Or I can buy this small one for $12.
It's already pre-mixed.
Yeah. Later on, the University of Hawaii would actually put their stamp on it by doing a university study on it.
Yeah.
Whoa, man, awesome! I didn't even know they were doing it at the time, so that was pretty cool. We also found out the problem, one of the reasons that failed the coral thing too is even if I grew the corals, there's a different thing between growing tons of corals and selling tons of corals, and there was no demand for another coral guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't solving anybody. I was solving my own desire for money.
It's hard to find holes in that world. I tried the same thing, and I had mild success, me and my buddy, but nothing that we were going to quit our jobs for.
Yeah, so by deciding that I was trying to solve the problem was my wallet was empty, I just made it more empty. I wasn't solving anybody's real problem there. And so, I don't know. That's what I learned. And so, we'll go on to 2006. Those are all the kind of the early things of I bought a tank and, and trying to solve problems. I'm also trying to fund the tank. I'm also trying to figure out, me and Andrew been waiters at the steakhouse for a decade. It's a good job, man. I love the people that work there. I'm also feeling like I'm pretty tied to this place. What if this place goes under, man? What am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
I feel like I can't move. What if I want to move to California? Can't do it, man, because I have this one skill set in this one place that's really doing really well for me, but I feel like I need to create more opportunity for myself. And so, that was really it. And so, in 2006, I saw that people wanted to buy mag flake and Dow flake, but couldn't find it. It was an ongoing issue.
Yeah.
People were searching all over. Wasn't available winter states or summer states. Wasn't available even in the summer in most winter states, especially the mag flake. The mag flake was a specific brand, super hard to find.
De-icer stuff.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm going fast, but we got a lot to cover today. All right. So I have this conversation. I invite 3 of my buddies to a meeting. This is my first business meeting. And we go to Champs. for chicken wings and beers, and my pitch to them why they should come work with me. But only one. I wanted to kind of hear from who's going to be the future of this thing.
Yeah.
You know what? One of them says this is stupid, and he's out. Right? Like, who's going to sell Meg Flake and Dow Flake in gallon containers? This is a dumb idea, right? He's out. The other one kind of sees it, but he's kind of selling used cars at the moment. He's got his own little thing and couldn't really let that go. Andrew goes home and tells his dad, like, Ryan pitched this weird idea to me, and he asked a couple questions. He's like, well, yeah, I don't know. He's done these other things in aquariums, and he's like, they're all successes? I'm like, yeah, except for that coral thing. And he's like, do it, man, do it. So he ran off with me. It was fun. All right. At this point, though, I'm hearing from my hobby friends, so the people that I know in the club and everything, and they all tell me that two-part solution, which is these Meg Flake and Dow Flake things, is the stupidest idea they ever heard. Why am I wasting my time on this?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, you don't get it. You don't get it.
Everybody needs it.
And they're like, no, actually, somebody was already doing it. It was Buckeye Field Supply.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so my buddy Dirk's like, yeah, dude, Buckeye's already doing this. Why would you want to? Like, they're not even having success with it.
Are they the same ones that had Buckeye Hydro?
Yeah, same guys. Yeah. So that was the thing, is it was like, here's some calcium chloride on my reverse osmosis site, right? And so what I said was, you know what? I'll share the problem. The problem wasn't that it was not available, actually.
Right.
That would seem like the problem was that the calcium
knew how to
chloride wasn't around. But you didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
So I was going to create a two-part solution to not just make it available, but give all the tools, the calculators, the instructions and everything, so you too could make DIY chemicals at home for your reef tank and make it really easy. You don't have to search the whole internet looking for every last buddy's take on it. Here's just a place that works.
Resource. Yeah, which doesn't exist.
Open it up, 10 orders a day, day one.
That's pretty big.
Who knew? I don't even know where they came from. We had a banner on Reef Central.
Yeah, it's not like you actually advertised and did all this other crazy stuff.
I mean, who knew? I guess. All right. Actually, by the way, our original take on this was to sell all this stuff wholesale. We were going to make it in bulk and then go sell it to stores.
Yeah.
We just never got around to that because you guys bought too much of it. I don't know. That was actually the original
a good
plan.
Problem.
I don't know. All right. So, all right. So, I wouldn't know it yet at that time, but Andrew and I, you don't see a lot of Andrew because he's not a reefer.
Yeah.
But Andrew and I are the yin and yang, man. And the lessons is, if you'd asked me one of those friends, I would have actually picked personally over Andrew at the time because we used to go out to the bars together and stuff. And we were great buddies. But Andrew is like a dream come true for both of us, I think, because we're the yin and the yang. Andrew has no interest in aquariums, really. I'm like all the way in, and if we were both all the way in, it would probably been bad news. We would have probably been bankrupt in a week. But what really happened is we found that we can do, open up this reef place, get the right stuff in, share the information. And Andrew's awesome at getting stuff out the door in the back. Right? And so totally different skill sets, totally different desires that actually met. And we don't really mess around and cross each other's paths, which worked out really great. I don't know. So yin and the yang worked out great. All right. And so I guess the lesson here is really the value comes from accepting what you suck at, which I have all kinds of things, including getting packages out the door or making RO systems or any of that stuff for 8,000 of them. I'm not your right guy to do that. And valuing what other people are good at. So when you accept what you suck at and when you value what other people at, it gives the opportunity for both of you to succeed. And so that happened here, and it worked out really, really awesome for us. And I think that if you go talk to a lot of people who have business partners,
they'd probably say the same thing.
Well, actually, I'd tell you that almost every one of them, the two of them end up hating each other. So it just, something happens, man, somewhere along the way. But I think it's because you just don't find a way to stay out of each other's way. And give freedom, go the road, man. Let you go do the things you do best. So I don't know.
Best interest of the company in mind.
I would. There were some reasons why that happened, but I don't know. Also, mainly it was a great personality fit, I guess. All right. So the first thing we do is rent an office on the top of an AA facility. So like
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so like there's an office building. It's got an AA in the bottom, and then it's got like an office. We just needed like 600 feet.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the tiniest thing possible to like do work in. And I'll tell you why the AA piece is relevant. So the first thing is every one of them's looking at us like, why do you guys need so many bags of baking soda?
Oh, start getting the stink
like,
eye
what are
from
those chemicals doing going in and out of here? And like, so I mean, it just looks like drugs. All this chemicals going
white
in
powder,
and out.
bags of white powder.
So at one point, you know, we're sitting up there, and Andrew is bagging the Kalkwasser,
Yeah.
right? And so at the time, we're shipping it in these like USPS flat rate boxes,
Yeah.
and you're getting like these 2 round bags that fit in there perfectly that very much look like a kilo of Coke.
It looks like what you see in the movies.
Yeah, like every movie of like drug
what it looked like.
assembly, man, you've ever seen, this is what it looked like.
A little less duct
He's got
tape.
the full ventilator thing on, and they're like stuck to the ceiling. And then the mailman comes in and opens up the door and looks at him, and he's like, you know, and the mailman doesn't know like whether he should get the mail or run. Like, I didn't see it. Yeah, so it's pretty fun.
Funny.
And actually, I mean, it's funny how these chemicals get like replaced for drugs. Because there's a local guy here who actually got his house raided by the local police, the Minneapolis police, because the cable guy, like the internet cable guy, was at the house. And he saw all of the Kalkwasser and chemicals,
measuring
you know,
stuff
and the bulk reef
and-
supplies
yeah,
sitting
yeah.
around down by the aquarium. Thought for sure that he was running a meth lab down there. Called the police, and they kicked on his door and raided his house. And they found out it was aquarium,
Oh,
bulk
good
aquarium
Lord.
supply.
I'm sure that's not the only story that exists out there.
Probably not.
Oh, man.
But like, I mean, it made me think: Is the cable guy really the best resource for a warrant to break into my house?
Cable guy doesn't know what he's looking at.
Like I don't know many people that actually know what a meth lab looks like.
No,
To be
I've seen him on TV.
And I don't know, next to the aquarium. Yeah, I mean, kicking down your house is a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, so at this point, also in the top floor, once you get past the fact that we're like loading up kilos of Kalkwasser, we made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
This thing is on the second floor of a building with no elevator. So when they drop off the chemicals, they're dropping 2,000-pound pallets of it at the front door, and we have to carry all of it on our shoulders up the stairs. And then we finally get it up the stairs. I'm pretty worried it's going to go through the floor.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's 2,000 pounds, and like and they're like probably 8,000 pounds as you spread out all the
And then
different
the rest
pallets.
of you.
I don't know. Worried about the floor. At this point, I want to stop shipping USPS because it's a giant pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Call up the UPS rep. He brings his like boss over or whatever, and when they leave, she chastises him. Says that was the biggest waste of time. I can't believe that you made me come meet these 2 doofuses that are selling these chemicals. That was just total waste of time. Later on, she would eat those words.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
like literally, she would go back to him and said, "That is our fastest growing account." And not only that, they sell essentially lead bricks, which is our favorite thing. There's boxes of rock and chemical, like super high density stuff. She's like, "This was a gold mine. I should have never scolded you." That was pretty funny. However, so we do get the UPS contract.
Yeah.
And to this day, I've never seen this or seen it repeated, and I couldn't even believe it was possible. UPS rep, super pissed that he got us as not the rep, the driver. Okay, and rightly so.
Or because it's
Yeah, because he comes,
heavy.
knocks on the door, and then on the floor is 1,000 pounds of boxes he has to huck up and down the stairs.
Oh,
The poor guy.
Yeah, I would not be happy.
He just stops coming, dude. So like one day he just wouldn't be here, and I had to call, and he's like, literally tells his boss, "This is BS, man.
Yeah.
Like you're making me go up the stairs."
There's no dock. There's no place to pull
No.
up to, and there's no dollies. There's no nothing. You got to hand carry all this crap down.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
blame
awesome.
him. But I didn't even know no was an answer. Like, that's a possibility. All right. So at the time, also, I mean, if you're not catching this, like, everybody's laughing us off.
Yeah.
This is a joke. There's two guys selling baking soda, soda ash.
Everybody in the
like,
aquarium industry?
everywhere, dude. Like UPS guy, my buddies even, like in and out of the hobby. Like, what are you thinking? I'm like, no, I think we're onto something, man. No. Okay, so at this point, the industry laughs us off as well. Like, I can't get like a phone call to anybody, right?
Oh.
So like we sell calcium chloride, so like a really obvious connection would be, let's sell test kits.
Right.
Okay. Like, we're like blackballed, man.
Yeah.
Nobody will like open an account for us. I can't get the local like pet supplier to open an account for us.
Yeah.
I can't get the national distributors, the actual companies themselves. Basically, nobody really like sees our vision. In fact, most of them we're a threat. We're a threat because we're online, and nobody wants another online thing. And there's at the time there's a lot of people operating out of their garage and stuff,
Yeah.
really ruining the pricing strategies they have and all that kind of stuff. But also, we're taking your gold mine chemical that comes in a cup size and we're selling for $20, and we're selling a gallon of it for 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like
I'd
your
be
best
threatened.
friend.
Yeah, no,
we're not best friends with
Want me
anybody.
to do what?
You know what? You know what? Doesn't really stop me. So I just keep calling. You know, so my favorite one is actually Scott Red Sea, and he's like one of my favorite people now.
Yeah.
But even then, I call up Scott and like, Scott, hey man, we really need these test kits. We really like to open up an account. And you're like, no, like 8 different reasons why no. And every month, I just call him up. Like, and just ignore the fact he never returns my calls, never responds to my emails. Just like, it never happened. Like, we're best friends each time. Hey man, it's Ryan. I just like, hey, maybe the time's right. You want to bring it bring this? And then finally, I don't think he ever thought it was the right move. He just like, I gotta get this guy to stop calling.
Yeah.
You know, and so finally he relents, and we have Red Sea test kits. In fact, I was talking to Jeremy O'Brightwell today, and he said the same thing. He went to Jack and the other team and was like, I think we should get into Bulk Reef Supply. And they're like, the enemy? Like, those guys, they ruined the calcium business, man. Why would you ever like? And then, I think he said like 30 days later after, like, oh, we get it. And like, cause now we're best friends.
Yeah.
Like now, like the whole thing, we didn't want to ruin your calcium business. We want to help you with everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't know, very interesting. But very early on, there's one company that I never had to do any of that with, right?
Yeah.
Vertex.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
So I met Vertex at the Inner Zoo, and like we're one of certainly the smallest company known to man from the United States in the Inner Zoo. And I talked to him, and he saw the video things. He's like, dude, I get you. You know, I get where you're doing, and I get where you're going. At the time, he's doing Vertex. He's also repping like Royal Exclusive and KZ. These are like the highest end brands in the industry. And he like likes the Bulk Reef Supply guys.
Nice.
I don't know, but he just got it. He's like, you're teaching people, whatever. And like, from that day on, like me and Jason really understood each other. I talked to that guy for thousands of hours, man, thousands. And all of it is like, what is the industry? And like constantly trying to solve problems in the industry, things that people are facing, you know, and just kind of next level conversations. And so that was like, I think a lot of you probably saw, like we were early Vertex adopters, and it's because this guy was trying to do something different and trying to be better, you know? However, here's a lesson. He would later stab me in the back for the tune of about 180 grand.
That's tough
and I don't know, man, if he did it on purpose or it's just like, you know, part of the way of going bankrupt, whatever, but still, that's a lot of money to get screwed by.
Yeah.
So this is a lesson for you. Even if somebody who treats others poorly treats you with respect, understand it's just not your turn yet. Yeah, I know, because he actually was a ruthless person. Like he was really, really aggressive in the industry. Ruthless isn't the right word.
Right.
He was really aggressive, man, and I don't know, like it just never aimed at me. And he was such an intelligent person, But if somebody treats other people like crap, eventually they'll turn and treat you like crap too. That's a lesson I learned.
Ouch.
Yeah, so watch out for that in your life. All right, so Bulk Reef Supply. At this point, customers are calling and they're saying, like we're selling bulk chemicals and all this stuff.
This is moving from...
Still twopartsolution.com, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is this moving from twopartsolution.com or moving to Bulk Reef Supply?
It's still twopartsolution.com, still selling carbon and all that stuff. But like, what's happened is customers start calling me, strangers, and saying, hey, I got this friend that works over at the carbon company. If you buy 10,000 pounds of carbon from him, I already negotiated you a price with him because he's my buddy. And my club and I will buy all the carbon from you and like a big portion of it.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, oh.
Thanks.
Well, that sounds like a win. If I ever heard one. Same thing with GFO, same thing with RO filters, same thing with RO machines at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it just kind of like
fell into your lap.
I bet you the first 2-3 dozen products, man, was all you guys. Like, you knew somebody.
I know somebody.
You just don't want to buy 20,000 pounds of it yourself.
That's true.
And I was like, wow, man.
That's cool.
And so the lesson that I learned in that was actually that the reefing community takes care of its own.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a tight-knit, small community, and there's so many people in there that, like, if you're willing to help people out, they're willing to help you out, and it's just like a world of reciprocity. Just a really, really awesome thing, man. And it was more fun doing it that way than it was if I had to chase down all the carbon myself, man. Because, I mean, like, imagine if you're on the other end of that, and it's like, you got a reef tank, and your buddy's carbon thing, and like you're able to connect all that together.
Yeah.
What a fun aspect of the hobby that is for you as well.
Ah, man, I can't imagine sitting there going, man, I need carbon real bad, and I got a guy, but I need to buy a ton of it.
No. And in the end, just like a mutually beneficial endeavor. And really cool. So at some point we're buying RO systems too from a place called FSHS, which is short for Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I don't know. Must
Holy
have been
Spirit?
Holy Spirit. I'm sorry. Good catch. But eventually we just had to have our own standards inside. I just wanted to, I just wanted to use the right filters, better fittings, all that kind of stuff. So we started making our own, and then you can control the standards of quality with your own desires at the time.
Nice.
All right. So we'll start sourcing new solutions like dosing pumps, because there's no dosing pumps in the market.
Yeah, we heard that story. That was pretty rough.
All right. Lesson now is if no one will provide it, do it yourself. And like that was the end. I tried so hard for dosing pumps. And then eventually, man, you just got to travel the globe and go find some dosing pumps.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because at the point, like, we're still largely a chemical company, just, bulk calcium chloride. Other than test kits, dosing pumps are right up the alley. I mean, I'm using those APT ones.
Well, then you want good quality.
Larry at APT, we just won't get it together.
And good quality filtered water so that you can mix up your solutions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
RODI.
Okay, so two-part solution doesn't make any sense anymore, and so we reboot the entire website and decide it's now called Bulk Reef Supply.
Done.
So we got all kinds of bulk stuff now. All right, there we go. All right, so I think I'm casing on a pace here. I have about a half-hour page. There we go. All right, so now we're adding new stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good, better, best strategy. This is we want to have a good, better, best, which is like good, cheapest product that works, better being the thing that most people actually buy, costs 20% more, but has some really good features about it. And then best, the thing that costs 3 times as much and only twice as good at it or whatever, Yeah,
you bring up the comparison here, draw the conclusion or the comparison here to Costco and Kirkland brand a lot.
Yeah. Well, so Kirkland, I often look at like the BRS brand. Like, that is always what we were striving for: more, better, less.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So with Kirkland, you can go watch all kinds of stories in Kirkland, but that the Kirkland brand for Costco, like most of it isn't just like that can of tuna that's sitting next to the Bumblebee tuna. Because it's 2 ounces more.
Yeah.
And instead of AA, it's AAA tuna, and it's 15 cents less, and it comes from Bumblebee.
It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
more better.
Or like you go buy a bottle of fancy scotch. I go buy
Go look at the quadruple distilled vodka.
Yeah.
It comes from the same place as what's the really good vodka anyway.
Oh yeah, Grey Goose, I think.
Yeah.
So I also saw Macallan. So like when I was at Macallan, there's 10-year, 15-year, and then you see the Macallan right next to the Macallan is Kirkland brand made by Macallan, cheaper than the 15-year and 16 and a half years. All right, that was our goal. Is more, better, less. I mean, if we're gonna buy this stuff straight from a factory, man, well, why? I don't know. We have the opportunity to be better, so let's do it. All right. So, but good, better, best though is that's how we want to curate the whole line. Right. Beyond that,
not just bring everything in under the sun.
So that's a product of two things: our values and what we would use ourselves. But it's also we're broke, man. I mean, it's a tiny little company, and Drew and I started it with $3,000 a piece. I never took on any investors, never took loans or anything. It's just like if you bought some calcium, we'd take the $2 from the calcium and reinvest it in more calcium, and then so on. So we were really careful about what we brought in because we wanted to sell, we wanted to believe in it, we didn't want returns or anything. So the experience was really curated. Yeah. We had 1/10 of the SKUs as anybody else, but they were the right SKUs in my mind. Okay. So, lesson in this one. Be proud of what you sell to people. If you're not, don't. We all make mistakes in that. I've certainly made it along the way, but adapt and stay true to your values. So I think that is the nature of retail in 2020. In 1995, it was sell whatever garbage somebody's willing to buy. But cheap now people want a curated experience. They want, to not just have you sell everything under the sun. And to be honest, even today, we still get crap because, hey, why aren't you selling this thing? Why don't you sell that thing?
Oh, we get that
some people want you to sell everything.
Yeah.
But most of the people that shop with us actually appreciate the fact that this was curated. And the thing about it is I learned along the way is, you cannot be everything to everyone, so be something to someone.
Yeah.
And so the people out there that appreciate the curated experience, let's not ruin that by trying to find it for the people that don't appreciate us already and just want everything under the sun to make it up their own mind. Well, there's plenty of stores that are willing to do that. So that's my lesson there. All right, so in June 2008, we released our first video on BRStv. I'd like to say it's kind of important that I think YouTube was only started in 2006.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty new thing at the time. And I say to Drew, I think we could use YouTube to share information if only I could explain it to other people the way that it was explained to me.
Yeah.
Like somebody came to my house and said, look, 2 cups of calcium in a bucket of water, use this calculator, dose about 50 milliliters a day. If your test goes down, then you add a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh, that's easy.
Holy cow.
You could do that.
That is not the rabbit hole I went down online.
No, searching the groups.
I'm okay, well, let's use YouTube. So he lets me buy a video camera, which at the time was a big expense for us.
Yeah.
I have never shot a video in my entire life, never edited a video, never anything. But I'm like, this seems like the right format because not only is it shorter than hunting down information, but video is personal.
Yeah.
And you can get a connection with the person that you're talking to, and I can understand. And instead of saying, grab the thing on a text, with your forethumb, do this and do that and whatever, I can say, grab it like this, open it up.
You can see it.
It's so much faster and easy. I don't know. All right. So I didn't know it then, but this is the lesson here also, is I didn't know it then, but I'd learned later that the demand in the marketplace in reefing was not for more products or better products, cheaper or faster shipping. That was 1998. 1998, if you could ship something fast and you had it, man, you were the best e-commerce shop in the nation. In 2008, the demand actually was for how to use these products, and solving that would forever change the landscape.
Yeah.
I did not know that when we produced that video, that's the demand in the market was nothing to do with the product. The demand was for information. And when you filled the information hole, like, oh my gosh, everybody came.
Yeah.
You know? It's like that baseball movie.
If you build it, he will come. And it's he will come, by the way, Cole.
Oh, the reefers will come.
The reefers will come.
All right. I mean, I didn't know at the time. And at this time, I'm terrified, man. This is right here, somebody who failed speech class every time all the way through high school because I wouldn't show up, man. Like, I just, like, couldn't handle the, like, attention.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle, like, I just never felt like I was prepared enough. I'm having total panic attacks. And, like, I don't know, but I still just need to do this thing. And, like, even though I failed at this my entire life, like, I felt like I had to do this thing.
I think it was easier for you on video, though, to talk to, like, the camera, knowing that somebody's there. But it wasn't until, like, two years ago or so when you're still nervous about getting up and talking in front of, yeah. So that Reefapalooza, talk that you gave was pretty nerve-wracking for you.
Yeah, man. I was
with
terrified.
Actual faces in front of you. Yeah.
Still, like last night, I mean, I don't know if you guys can catch it or not, but like shooting that live in my house without Randy. I'm super nervous. I don't know, man. It's just like not my thing. So weird to say that, but it's just true. Okay, so this is the lesson, though. If you want something bad enough, you can overcome almost any fear. I'm terrified of judgment. I'm terrified of saying the wrong thing. I'm terrified of not being accurate, and I have no skill in this at all. But I want to create this experience that was given to me because it's so frustrating to not know how to use this calcium and alkalinity thing at the time.
Figure it out yourself.
And you guys probably don't even know the hassle that it was because you didn't have this problem. It was just so much information now.
Yeah.
But then, man, like, it was use this thing and, again, like a tablespoon every Thursday and twice on Thanksgiving because the corals are thankful. Like it didn't have any connection. It was really hard. All right. So at some people copied us and started, using their, like doing, other reefing videos, like some commercial ones. And I'll tell you, I feel like we're pretty dominant in this area, and it's for this reason. It's 100% transparent that this is a commercial with the goal of solving their problem, which is a desire for money, like desire to create revenue. Their problem is I want to sell more stuff, right? And I don't like to talk about competitors very often because it's just not polite. So, but I think in this spirit, man, it's actually important to note. So, you're like not adding value.
So you mean this is the
sharing what it does?
Yeah, rereading the bullet points on a video about what you could
what this thing does. You could read that in a product review. It does this, and clearly you've never used it in your whole life. You probably don't even have a reef tank. I don't know. So it's not adding value. Not a value. Sharing what it does, how it works, if it's the right thing for you want to solve. So here's the thing. That's what we were doing. Is what we were trying to do. We were talking about a product in some cases, but is this thing the right thing for you? Is it going to solve the problem that you have? And if it's not, don't buy it.
Yeah, here's another
Let's
option.
find the right thing. That is very different. I think both of them are actually trying to sell something, but there's different ways to try to sell something. One is actually worry about what the other person needs and help them. The other one's worry about my wallet being empty, or not as full as I'd like. I don't know. All right. So in the end, you can't escape your DNA or the fact that you don't even maintain tanks. And the secret sauce here doesn't even matter because we're sharing the secret sauce today, actually, in many cases, if you only pretend to cook. I don't know. I don't like talking about competitors much, but sometimes it's just like, why is it that Bulk Reef Supply or BRStv has grown so much more than all the other channels? In fact, I looked at one point in time, BRStv gets more views than Petco, PetSmart, and like all of the other reefing ones combined.
Interesting.
Why is that?
I saw the same thing in the hunting and fishing industry too, where Field and Stream, massive company, gets like piddly views, 100, maybe 200 views on some of their videos, But then you have YouTube stars and people that are out there showing you how to fish, you know, taking you along with the journey, hundreds of thousands of views. It's interesting.
That's the nature of it. If you're, if I watch some guy tell me why this Rapala thing is going to go 30 feet down and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
I don't want your dumb Rapala thing.
Show me you
That guy
catching
shows
fish
me
with it.
how to catch a fish.
Yeah.
By nature, I would want whatever that dude is using.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Dave and I are doing that to find sturgeon this winter.
I don't know. So there you go. All right. So this is an interesting point.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, we feel like we got the tiger by the tail. Like the, you know, this two-part solution, the bulk resupply thing is like successful, and it's just pulling us around everywhere it goes because we don't know where
It's
we're going.
like 2008 to 2010-ish, somewhere around there. Yeah.
You still got two waiters here that are selling chemicals and trying to figure out how to be on YouTube.
One's a
and,
hobbyist.
like, there's definitely success here, but like I just it's success for success sake, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So my business partner happens to hang out in like all these entrepreneurial circles, and like all their little buddies you know, hang out and like try to one up each other's little entrepreneurial stuff. I don't know. I never really got into it.
Yeah.
But he's like, we got to go talk to this guy, Michael Payton, and he runs this thing called EOS. It's traction right here.
There you go.
Okay, and he's going to charge us $5,000 a day. Okay, I'm still like waiting tables by night and working all day. $5,000 is a month is a very material number, right? But at the same time, I'm recognizing, man, like this is all over the place. Like I don't know where we're going. I just know that everything's good, and I'm high-fiving all day long. But like I feel a little lost at sea too. All right, so we sit down, and I agree to talk to this guy. And it's $5,000 a day. By the way, the moral of the story here is go be Peyton and be an implementer for traction.
Yeah,
you can
because
make a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. You know, like, if you're thinking about making it somewhere,
yeah, I don't know.
teach people how to run their companies.
I would mind-boggling. Still, I think back, but how do we make that decision? All right, and then he looks at us in this first meeting and says, "I will only work with you if you can be in the best in the world at what you do in 5 years." I mean, best in the world, man. Like, who's the best in the world at anything?
Oh, that makes you really question, like, is this for me? Not only just for the price, but can I be the best in 5 years?
So this is the analogy.
What does the best look like?
Who knows?
Yeah.
It starts to tell you that.
Yeah.
But here's the analogy that he uses, right? He says, all right, it's not that you're going to be the best. It's that, let's imagine you wanted to win the triathlon, right? The Ironman. If I gave you 5 years, you could quit your job, and I gave you money to survive, and you had the right workout equipment, and you spent all day, every day, working out. Do you believe at the end of that 5 years that you could be the best and beat it? If you don't, move on and do something else, man, because there's something in the world you can be best at. This just happens to not be it because you don't even believe in yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Halfway buying it. Right? And like, all right, fine. So fine, I'll buy in. I don't really think this. I mean, it's still two waiters selling calcium chloride. We're tiny, man, like maybe a 20th the size of our biggest competitor at the time. And I look at them like, oh my God, I think, no way. That's never going to happen. But he makes us do a few things. And so the first thing he says is you need to define what makes you different. This is all in like a single day, right?
Yeah.
Make us define what makes us different. What makes you different than everyone else in the marketplace? Why is it somebody would ever want to shop with you? And some people might have some of these things, but they won't have these three things all together.
Yeah. What
right?
make it, yeah.
So the first one, carefully selected products.
We already, we talked about.
So that's us. That's BRS in our DNA.
Good,
we
better,
decide
best.
we sell good, better, best stuff here. We don't sell everything under the sun, and we only sell stuff we would actually use ourselves. 2, we are going to provide essential information. We're not going to just leave you to the wolves. We're actually going to tell you how to select the right tool for the right job, and then we're going to show you how to use it afterward as well, so you're satisfied with the thing that you bought.
Yep.
Right?
Gosh, nothing like
Okay, so that's the second thing that we're going to do here. And the third thing that some other places had but didn't have these other things is we're going to have helpful service. There's going to be reefers on the phones here. You're going to call, and I'm going to tell these people, I don't care if they want to talk about their clownfish for an hour. Talk about the clownfish. Just help the people to the best of your ability and never sell anything.
Yep. Oh.
You can take orders if you want, but don't ever sell anything.
There's so many phone calls when I was answering phones like that. Just talking reef. Just want to, and then, all right, have a good day. Hang up.
Never anybody here. Nobody's ever had a sales quota. Nobody even knows what anybody has ever sold in the whole ever.
No, no idea.
And I've actually instructed them over and over again. If somebody calls up and wants to buy a $1,000 pump, but you know in your heart of hearts that a $100 pump is
the right
better,
answer.
Tell them the $100 pump, because that's going to earn the type of trust that will make sure you'll get every order forever, right? And it's just true. It's mutually beneficial engagement, right? Like, I saved you $900.
Why would you want to spend 900 more bucks when this one's going to do it for you?
I don't know. Ultimately, a lot of people buy the $900 anyway. But all right. So for us, that was the 3 things that made us unique. We now identified them, and we're going to live to that standard. He also asked us to create our niche here, which is providing high-value products, solutions, and valuable information that makes reefing fun and easy. This was actually important, because a lot of entrepreneurs chase off every shiny object in front of them. It could be Christmas trees the next day. It could be like, oh, we sell RO stuff. We'll sell them to this place. We'll sell them to that place.
Well, it's like having having DI resin, which is used in a wide variety of industries. Car washes for that spotless rinse could have easily went down that path.
All kinds of, and it actually says the worst thing you could ever do is be successful in your car wash idea, because it'll take your mind off of helping people with their reef tanks. Like the more success you have there, the worse you'll be at the other thing.
Yeah.
Only time that you can ever go off and do Christmas trees and car washes is when you're like, I've finally done it. I've done everything I can do in reefing. It's over. Right? If one day you wake up,
answer that and say
8 million times, man, we've used that sentence. Does that provide high-value products and solutions, valuable information that makes reefing fun and easy? No, it's out the door. Stop talking about it. No more energy put into it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, it was a super valuable tool, actually.
It helps trim all
Laser
the excess
focused.
fat. Yeah.
All right. Then he asked us what our core values are. And so this is interesting, because I bet you every place almost all of us have worked at has core values. They're all dusty on the wall and nobody ever talks about them.
Yeah, true.
Like at a meeting, the highest paid person in the room will talk about them for a second, whatever it is. But he says you're going to run your own company on these things. And so he says core values: serves the customer above all else. That's we got 5 of them that we decided on, and just defined who Andrew and I thought that we and the small team were.
Yep.
These can't be aspirational. These are things that we thought actually made us different at the time, and that we want to gather other people that share these values with us. So it serves the customer above all else. That means that we truly recognize that the customer is the real reason that we're all here.
Yeah.
Driven to approve and takes initiative. So this is, you have the ability to manage yourself. This isn't an environment where we're gonna stand around and manage people. We just lead.
Yeah, or wait to be told what to do. Like if you can't,
encourage failure. Try what you want, man, and see what happens. Comes out the other side. And motivated by a job well done. This one meant we need people here that just want to do good for good's sake.
You can't accept good enough.
If the job wasn't done and it was 5 o'clock and I told you to go home, you would quit before you would let the job done, because I don't know how to live that way. That's Randy, by the way, all the way. Good-natured, open-minded. I don't care how good you are at all of these other things. If you're a prick, get the hell out. I don't care if you treat people poorly, man. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
No one is good enough at their job to have to tolerate you being poor to other people, right? Okay. And the last one, humbly confident. This means humbly confident is like the paradox of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It means that you're confident enough in yourself that you have the ability to take accurate and healthy criticism at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right? That we're all not dancing around you, trying to not hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to hurt my feelings. We can just say it like it is.
Standing on eggshells.
All right. So the lesson in all that afterward,
Yeah.
and by the way, we hire, fire, reward, everything based on those values. When you get a review, it isn't did you do X widgets this thing, it's
how
are
did
you these
do
5
these?
things.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're these 5 things, I don't care about anything else. You're the right person.
Yep.
And
You belong in our sandbox.
Yeah, I want to work next to you, and everybody else does too.
Yeah.
So I thought it was the craziest review process ever, and it's the best. I don't know. You share our values, we want to work with you. All right, so lesson in all this was culture matters. Surround yourself with like-minded people, and like-minded people will attract and grow a culture everyone loves to be part of.
I think that's walking through the building here is pretty spot on for how this place is.
Well, and then the nature of it is too, if you bring in people that don't, they repel the people that don't have your culture,
Yeah.
right? And so if I want to say, the culture here is let's help people, solve their reefing problems, and there's I've hired marketing directors in the past, and they're like, say all that, but in the end, they're like, how do we sell more stuff? How do we sell more stuff? How do we sell more stuff? And I'm like, dude, come back to me. And eventually I figured out that this just isn't in their DNA.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Because you're going to actually ruin everybody else. I don't know. So actually, the sad part is they're just going to struggle here anyway. So you might as well let them go to a place that actually wants that.
Yeah,
and where they can thrive. All right.
It's fair to everybody.
So the nature of this whole thing is the best
now you're on this traction thing, you're on this EOS thing, and there's a list of things that come from that, visualizations of the success that brings.
Oh yeah. So he's going to say, look, we're going to be somewhere in 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I don't know. He just asks, what does it look like in 5 years?
Yeah,
How many people does it have? How many buildings is it? Blah, blah, blah. Do you have HR yet? All this other stuff. And then he walks us back, and he's like, hey, man, what does it look like in 3 years?
Yeah, how do you get there in 3? Well, what's going to take you there in 1?
2/3 of the way. All right, 1 year now. What are the biggest problems preventing you from getting there in 1 year?
Yeah.
Right? And write down 8 million of them on the wall, because it's at this point, there's 8 million. And he's like, I'm going to let you solve the top 7.
7 only.
7 only.
There may be
I'm
a million.
No, I want to solve them all.
7.
Yeah, no, 7 only. And I'm like, what if we get 8? And he's like, I'll give you your check back, and I got to go because I don't know how to teach Ryan's way. I only know how to teach EOS.
That's great.
Like,
I don't know how to teach Ryan's way.
All right, well, peace. So we take 7, and lo and behold, we solve those inside of a quarter, and then we do the same process, and at the end of the year, 28 of our biggest problems are gone, and we're actually more than a quarter of the way to being the biggest in the nation. We actually beat it, and we do it in 5 years.
There you go.
Through that process of repeating that every year, and in fact, we just barely missed it by 4 years. So two waiters that sold some calcium chloride, and the help of somebody smarter than us that helped us, focus that in the right way, helped us achieve our dreams in 4 years, man. You look back at it, it's just a pretty crazy thing.
Can you tell this story, this Fast 50?
Okay.
Is that when you guys showed up at the dinner?
So in that, this one's actually a funny story too, yeah. So in the middle of it, we were winning these Inc. awards, like Inc. 500, and locally Andrew signs us up for this Fast 50 thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. You probably may have seen, if you search for our names, you see us next to this Bentley that they made us take a picture next to. Neither of us own a Bentley. And actually a plane, we got a private jet at one point.
You've got your Forerunner that's beat up.
Yeah, I know. And so it's the fastest growing companies in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah.
And so we go there, or he's like, they want us in, we go take these pictures, whatever. And the day of, I'm like, Andrew, I don't want to go, man. This isn't me. And he's like, dude, we already did the pictures, we have to go. And so we go, and Drew and I, I'm wearing jeans and a black shirt.
Yeah.
This is a black tie event.
Here's these two
I've never been to a black tie event my whole life,
Full of rooms of business people.
Yeah.
And
there's a long story here, so I'll speed it up a little bit for you. But basically, this lady in front of us, here's who we're from. She's like, oh, I was going to apply there, but I hired it with these guys instead. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And then, they get to the top 20, the top 15, they call them, and she's like, oh, it looks like you guys beat us. And I'm like, wow.
top 15.
Well, I don't know. I was hoping for 42. I don't know.
I was hoping to go home.
Okay, at number 3, they're called off, and it's not us. And I'm like, what, dude? Could we be the fastest growing company in Minneapolis by the Minneapolis privately owned business? And the answer is no. We were number 2. So we go up there and there's like Bulk Reef Supply, and nobody has any idea. Might as well be reefer.
Here's
two
these
dudes
two
with long
yahoos.
hairs and some jeans and a black tie, and like, yeah, we won.
That's funny.
And the funny part is the number 1 was actually Crave Restaurant, and they sent us a bottle of wine the next day saying congratulations on number 2.
Oh, nice for Craig. Thanks, Craig. That was good for you guys.
That's pretty funny. All right, yeah. So we did it in 5 years, almost 4.
Yep.
Black Friday was actually part of that whole thing. Okay, so this is actually pretty funny. So Black Friday, it's Black Friday out of many years ago, and I'm like, Drew, why didn't we have Black Friday? And he's like, I don't know, nobody's gonna buy their aquarium stuff on Black Friday.
Aquarium stuff.
Dude, people will push their grandmother to the floor to like save $5 on a toaster
TV
on
or a
Black
toaster.
Friday, man.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen what people are willing to do for a PS1 or whatever it is at the time?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know. So we put up our first Black Friday sale. Okay, we're behind for like 2-3 weeks. Like, I mean, we were so like, it was only like a 2-day sale or something, you know. And like, we couldn't catch up with that. I couldn't believe how many people wanted to buy stuff on Black Friday, and nobody had ever done it in our industry yet at that time. And I was like, wow, man, I'm astounded, right? And then I would tell you, that would kind of be the foundation. At that point, of course, we're going to do Black Friday every year, rather.
Yeah.
Okay. And the worst thing, at that point, all hands on deck. Like the systems and processes don't really scale at this point. So like Andrew's back there, Randy's back there, Dave's back there, I'm back there. We're all panicking to get all the orders out that you guys are placing. And I got to tell you, worst thing you could ever do is put me back there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, because
I've seen it firsthand.
I'm focusing on videos and stuff.
You're in the QC line or in the QA QC line, so making sure orders are correct and they are what the person ordered, and you have to do it by hand, by visual. And Ryan just goes back there, and all he can start to see are ways that mistakes and ways that things aren't streamlined, and then we're trying to fix things in the middle of trying to get all of this stuff out the door. So
that was many years of why is it this way? I can't believe it because I'm not actually shipping stuff. It's Andrew's field, and I'm sure Andrew would come and say, "Why do your videos suck so bad?" Too? But at Black Friday, man, it was really hard.
Yeah.
And then we moved once. This was the worst nightmare, one of the worst nightmares anyway. So we moved warehouses to this one actually, and we put in this file. And said, all right, so this is where everything went. So there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pallet locations, and in them each pallet is a box that contains hundreds and hundreds of items.
Yep.
And we poured it all over here, and then we input the file, and the file says this. I'm like, what?
For those of you listening,
and so we had to decide. Yeah, that was not a nice middle finger. If you're listening, yeah. So. Basically, we have to make a decision.
Yeah.
Keep trying to fix this, or just start picking. And we just chose to screw it and start picking, which is great for all the stuff that was in the picking aisles. And then soon it was empty.
Where is it?
There's a 40,000 foot warehouse. There's hundreds and hundreds of pallets. The replacement float valves are in one of them. And the fish food you're looking for, they're also in one of them, but I'm not going to tell you which one. Nobody knows. It was the biggest nightmare of all time, and we had to go and count everything, and meanwhile trying to get orders out. So don't do that. Moving was terrible. All right, so Black Friday. This Black Friday, we just finished it actually. The crew just left.
Yeah, well, there's still going on till midnight tonight, but
you can still buy stuff.
Yeah,
but the crew
crew's gone.
Crew left.
Meaning
5 o'clock.
The warehouse crew who's packing up boxes from years ago when it was work almost 24 hours a day, multiple days a week, to finished at a normal time packing up boxes. And 3 to 4 times as many boxes.
They left on time today.
Yeah, it was insane.
And the place is clean.
Yeah.
clean.
I know, I've seen it.
So what happened is actually last year we used to go shoot around and like this laser would tell you like where to pick stuff from and whatever. And it was like, I don't know, state of the art time, maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah, now there's a system.
Okay, now we picked these carts. The cart actually...
You build your cart based off of where you're going to travel and it makes
computer
it
algorithms, everything that's in your box is in his
awesome.
Box, whatever.
So awesome.
We were picking 30 line items an hour, and line items like a certain, Okay, now they can put me back there, and I can pick 150. I can take anybody and teach them how to do it, and they can pick 150 line items, 5 times the efficiency. The good people are like 220.
Yeah.
Right, so Black Friday now no longer a thing. Like it's just super easy. I don't know. So sometimes when people tell you technology improves stuff, it absolutely does. And just for reference point, we didn't remove 5 times of the people. They just got freed up to do other better stuff.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Awesome. All right, so
the book.
All right, the book is where we're at. So now, actually, no, this thing.
Oh, the one before it. Yep.
So here's the big thing I think is inside of this. How did Andrew and Ryan take $3,000 and turn it into the largest reefing, online entity? And it's this one thing. I heard this at like a internet trade show once, and they said it's the theory of reciprocity. Theory of reciprocity, and it's like if you do something kind to somebody for somebody else, it's in our human nature to reciprocate that and do kind to them as well.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, I feel that all the time.
It's in your DNA, man. You just naturally want to do it. So when you come and find a video,
like that's kind of the thought behind karma, I guess.
Karma, yes. Yeah. Actually, we're going to expand on this in a little bit, but like the thing about it is like when you help somebody and they're like, how do I solve this algae fest in my tank? I watch this guy's video. I do the 3 things, and then this tank that was full of algae all of a sudden looks sharp. I want to help that person too. Yeah. And the way you help is I can place an order, but like, what if you are watching right now from like India? People watch all over the world. Yeah. You can't do that, but you can tell somebody else, like, hey man, these guys are good. Go watch that video. And so that was kind of what happened, man. It wasn't that like we were shipping it faster, we had better or more stuff. We had a few unique things, I think, but like it was that our thought process was to actually help people be successful, and then if we were successful doing that, there was a feeling of reciprocity of how do I get back.
That makes sense.
I don't know, like I can't give you a for sure, but that's what it felt like, and I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So at the time, we started a couple of new video series. One of them you probably won't recognize for what it is, but I called it The Book.
How to start a saltwater tank.
No, it was before that, actually. So what we did is I'd like take filtration, and then we do a whole video on carbon, a whole video on GFO, and I'd make a little mini series of filtration. And I did it with like lighting, I did it with other stuff. And I wanted to create like essentially an indexable book, so like a video book. So if you wanted to pick up any specific topic, you could go back to that specific episode, and people would watch them, but nobody watched them in that manner. Yeah. It just never materialized that way. But it's something I've always wanted to do.
It's not the natural way to
always
consume
wanted to create that indexable, like, here's my problem, here's the solution kind of thing. Yeah. But I don't know. All right. So then we also start how to start a reef tank and drink vodka.
Because you would edit while you were having cocktails.
That was pretty much it, because I was the writer, I was the actor, I was the editor, and I was the drinker. Yeah. I was all four. I don't know. So yeah, what would happen is actually you can go back and watch Reed and I. So we'd brainstorm some ideas, and then we'd shoot the video. And the goal was this was that going back to that first topic of, I want to start a reef tank. I want to know what I need, what elements are optional, and what these things do in a short, easy to follow format. And so we created a little series, and then we also followed along with it so you could see kind of how this tank pans out. And they're terrible. I mean, they have the information, which is the important part, but from a video editing perspective, these are absolute terrible. Crap. They're terrible. They're like, me and Randy are like this. I'm like, oh my God, so scared. So I don't know, we're just doing the best we can though. Like again, like so scared, but if you want something bad enough, you just get over the fear, so be it.
Yep.
All right. And actually, that was my favorite time, is at Friday nights after we would go home. I'd just get on my computer and start editing, and it was really fun for me to learn how to do it, and even more fun if I had my vodka. There it was. All right. So at that point, we're finding out, I read this survey from like the APPA. This is actually today. 62% of reefers actually learn about reefing and learn about the products and solutions that they're looking for on YouTube.
Yeah.
Not on Google, not on anywhere else, not at the fish store. 62% on YouTube.
It's easier to learn visually.
It's just totally a very interesting thing.
Yeah.
And this is what makes YouTube a little bit different. So then some of the other sources of information, and I wouldn't have known this when we started. I just was trying something new, I guess.
Yeah.
Books are a serious time investment, and they're also often dated by the time they're released.
Oh,
We
yeah.
learn so much in reefing.
Yeah.
It's really hard to keep up.
The nature of this series that we're doing now, it goes to show that the difference between 2004 to 2015 and then 15 to today, you couldn't have never written a book and captured what we learned in the last 5 years
by now.
already.
Yeah, by like a great degree.
Yeah.
And like YouTube is just so real time, you know. But I will tell you this: learning from a book is super valuable because you're learning from a qualified mentor. The fact that they wrote and published a book, not in all cases, but most cases, especially Julian's books, he's a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
He's worthy of listening to, a very specific person, and you can skip the debate.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, you may find differences, but largely so. So books are a mentor, but it's a serious time investment, and you're reading textbooks this big.
Yeah.
Okay, online articles are actually more timely. Right, so you can write
They can be updated,
Yeah.
though, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you really have to scroll and read and scroll and read.
So online articles are also condensed to specific, easy to search for topics.
Yeah.
However, they're often written by scientists.
Which is hard to understand if you don't read that
for
language.
Scientists.
Yeah, it is a special language to try to kind of comprehend.
It's actually weird because they're scientists writing they know they're writing for the hobby.
But they still write like scientists.
They know that other scientists are going to look at this, and they don't want to look like idiots. So it's like a compulsion.
Down a little bit.
It's really hard to write for both audiences.
Break it down.
I can't write for the guy that's doing this for the first time and the guy that's going to peer review it.
True.
It's really hard. And so, a lot of times the articles are just cluttered with proof rather than a simple how-to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like for the end person or end reefer trying to learn calculus at the same time as you're trying to learn how to count to 10.
Wow. That's how I felt reading some of those articles.
Well, actually, Dana Riddle's articles did that for me.
Yeah.
Until I figured out how to read them in reverse. So I went to Dana's articles and I would read his conclusion, and after I understood like what he found out and where he was going, I'd go back to the top and figure out how he did it. But if I read the first part, it was actually just science. It's so much science, man. It's really hard. All right. So this is also mentors, though. Like the people that are writing these articles are adding a lot of value to the community and worthy of being called a mentor. Local fish stores are also providing information, but let's just be honest, man. They can't possibly devote the time, and it's unfair expectation. Let's just give me an example. The example of like if you watched a half hour on lighting the other day with us, that person at a fish store could only have that conversation, 10 times a day before they go home.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they did it, everybody in the city would come because it would be the greatest experience possible.
No, because you get to say that
if you have that level of resource,
teach something, and then you go, and then somebody else comes in, you got to teach something, the same thing.
Yeah, it'd be really hard, man.
It's really hard.
So it's like an unfair thing to expect that level of time out of the store. And if you have one that's in your area that is that way, cherish and appreciate them, man, because they're doing it awesome and they're providing a great mentorship for you. Forums are great. If you want to debate options, explore new theories, or challenge common thought. However, So this is like, this isn't the best resource to actually figure out how to do this for the first time, because most of the people there have actually done this for the first time. They're looking for the next level stuff.
Yeah.
And they're also in there debating, man. They're having fun with their hobby. That's like, trying to figure out the next lands and all that kind of stuff. And so what it ends up being is actually mostly peers talking to peers with a few mentors sprinkled in, which are kind of hard to identify. However, YouTube provides, this one's actually really interesting. YouTube provides distinct answers to direct questions, and video is often easier to digest than complex concepts. But really everybody on it, including myself, is a self-proclaimed mentor.
Yeah.
Because you're just listening to a single person now, and by being there, you're kind of saying I'm worth listening to.
Yeah.
Are you?
Interesting.
I don't know. So I'm going to tell you right now, I have really never, am I worthy of being a mentor? And especially at that point in time, I've only been reefing.
Started doing YouTube videos.
For 4 years.
Yeah, and you were only reefing for 4 years. How can you be the subject matter expert?
Yeah, I can't be. I mean, like, I'm really into this, like, all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nerding out on this in ways that I don't think most people do. But, like, at the same time, and I've only been doing this for 4 years when I released the first one. So am I worthy of being a mentor? I got to tell you, even I sit here today, I've never felt worthy of that kind of label. I just, like feel like I need to do the best that I can, and someone has to step up and like answer questions. Yeah. The lack of answers is so much more harmful. I'm just willing to give it my best shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many smarter people out there than me. There's people I call mentors. I don't know, man. I've never felt comfortable with that. But that's essentially what YouTube is.
Yeah.
Is that you're listening to somebody for their specific opinion. So it's different. In some ways, more gratifying. You can just find the people that you trust and that seem to be leading you in the right way. And it just seems to be like the fastest way to get the information you need. And probably why 62% of people prefer it now. Along the way,
all right.
Bulk Reef Supply gets robbed.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So I'm actually at my grandpa's funeral.
Yeah.
Right? And poor Brandon Spencer has to call me and say, I got bad news. And I'm like, worse than I'm putting my grandpa in the ground? Oof. He's like, oh. I mean, he's like, oh my God, how can I be calling?
This is
poor
Brandon.
He's like, we got robbed. Wow, man. Like, I never knew, man. That, like, I never had that feeling, so.
But there's no like cash or stuff in here, so
No.
it's just chemicals and equipment and stuff.
Yeah, so they broke in and they stole all of our computers, and luckily somebody spooked them. But they were taking their sweet time because at several people's desks they had actually tapped out their reefer bowl. And we're sitting around smoking pot while they robbed us, like taking their sweet time. Like, might as well enjoy it, I guess.
Jeez.
By the way, these are really brilliant people because at a later date, one of them got caught for robbing some other thing and needed bail money. And so they sent their girlfriend to sell all of our camera gear a block away from where they stole it from, with the card in it of their faces and all of my stuff in their house. Felt like it was like America's Dumbest Criminals.
Oh,
and
boy.
them like smoking crack. They have pictures of it. And it was really crazy. But anyway, we got Rob. So this is the lesson I learned.
Yeah.
If you're a new startup, hope and pray that you get robbed, because it turned out to be awesome. Because we actually had a whole thing of computers. They were like stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like all the programs just basically barely working together because we had never done this before. When you stole all of our computers,
Gotta get new ones.
we got to start all over. And it was so much better. So thank you guys for stealing all of our computers. It actually was very helpful. And eventually we also upped the chemical game around this time. And so we upped the chemical game from first we were selling the tech graded product, and then we went to food grade, and then eventually to pharma.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy with the pharma because anybody can go find other stuff. You can go buy a 50-pound bag. what allows us to do at Pharma is provide something, a whole new level of quality that, like, the only reason we can offer it is because we're bringing in full containers from Europe.
Yeah.
Like that, the hobby can do for itself,
Yeah.
right? And so it actually brings value that just wouldn't have existed before. And that kind of feels like that's that Kirkland thing of more, better, less, right? So, I don't know. All right. So we keep adding products and more products as the $2 from each calcium jug funds the next one. And then we get hacked.
This one hit me personally.
Oh, did it really?
Twice.
Oh. I didn't know that actually.
Before I moved here. I moved here.
So
luckily I have a good bank that was like, okay, we'll investigate, here's all your money back. But then I get a letter from Bulk Reef Supply because I shop there that says, we probably got hacked and your credit card was compromised.
Okay. 2015, right? And so I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but like our website got hacked and lost the credit card information. And the lesson that I learned here is we're responsible for more than just helping people's tanks.
Yeah, now you got to protect.
I mean, like I'm an aquarium guy, and now I'm a tech guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we hired the tech guy because I'm not your tech guy. But
you don't want to measure tech guy.
I also got to feel what it's like to let down tens of thousands of people that trusted you all at once. I wanted to throw up every hour of every day. And I wish that nobody out there knows what it's like to let down a group of people that trust you, much less tens of thousands of them.
Yeah.
It felt awful, man. Awful, 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 and I'm so sorry that happened. I don't know. It's kind of ancient history now, but here's the story.
Lee remembers. He says, you guys gave us credit monitoring. That was right. A free year worth.
We did do that. Not good enough, but yes, we did do that. We did do other things too. I'm going to hit here in a second. True. Okay. This is another thing I learned though. Failure is again the process to succeeding. The more that you fail, the more success that you'll have. Almost every success has more failures along the way. And at the time, man, everybody's getting hacked. Like it's like Home Depot,
dawn of those ages.
Target, everyone, man. And so like it's kind of, I don't know.
It's hard to point the finger at who.
Well, if Target doesn't have the resources to keep their customers safe, how can I ever, man? And so what I found out is that you can. It just costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that actually the people that have been hacked are now the safest because nobody would spend that level of money and resources without being burned first.
Right. Yeah.
So the people that are burned first have a higher responsibility afterwards. So I kind of learned that, but I actually, man, like this is a really tough thing to do in this day's age. So I hired Thor, who is the king, way beyond what we needed at the time, but we wanted the funniest thing is like I want the biggest hammer you can buy. That must be Thor.
His name is actually Thor.
His name is Thor.
His legal name.
Anyway, but this is actually a catalyst. When you say that failure is a process to succeeding, it's actually a catalyst to more than just that. This is also a catalyst to 52 weeks of reefing and preferred reefer. So like when we let people down, now we have to be better than we've ever been. If we ever thought we were good before, now's the time to show our true colors.
Yeah.
So 52 weeks of reefing was how we did that via information. So that year, right after that, we pour everything we could possibly pour into sharing information and helping people in the way that we knew how to help people the best. So if we hadn't got hacked, 52 weeks of reefing might not exist.
Ooh, that's tough.
I don't know, because it was the thing that just, we got to do, this is the best we've ever done.
If you didn't have Dave, 52 weeks of reefing probably wouldn't be here either.
Dave comes up in here too. Also, the preferred reefer. Like, all right, now, man, we got to, give points. We need to have cheaper shipping. We need to have specials and stuff. And we need to really realize, man, the wealth of the community and give back. And that's like where, the advent of all the contests and prizes and special discounts and all this stuff, like we got to build, a community that we give back as much as they give to us, right? And it was a catalyst, man. So you learn from your failures and you just try to do better next time. So there's that. So Dave, actually, he came in earlier than 52 weeks of reefing, but Dave, sitting behind the camera right here, is an evolution of what we do here.
You can come around here if you want to, Dave.
Dave, you come over and say, he's kind of hooked up to some earphones and stuff, but
he's good.
No, he's good. So Dave comes in here, and I'm hiring an editor because I want to sober up. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to stop editing, right? Yeah. And he comes in here and he's kind of looking for a little side gig job. But I'm like amped up, man. Like I'm gonna change the world of reefing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this guy's
It's somebody to come with me.
He's never gonna like ever accept this side job, man. But he's like, I don't know. This just sounds kind of fun and just crazy enough. And this dude's pretty wacky, man. But like, let's see where it goes. And joins us, and then you'll see a distinct change right
in the
when
videos.
Yeah. What was the first video you did?
Selecting fish food.
Selecting fish food and all better than they were the day before. All right, also entry of Randy. So you might have seen some other talent before that, and I'll be honest, the other talent I was really trying to nurture, but mostly they were just parodying my words at you because I was trying to pass on the skill set, and it just never really worked out. Just didn't have the right tool for the right job.
Yeah.
Turns out Randy's the right tool for the right job. And Randy, man, is just
I could do that.
Succeed at all costs, failure never option, ever. I don't know, man. Like he's the guy when you talk about it is, hey man, there's 2 hours worth of work to do, but you need to go home. He would sooner quit than give up on those 2 hours.
I think I did that with the Postal Service when they said I was moving too fast, and I could like you're making us look bad, and I said I can't work here anymore. I need to quit. So I quit and came to work here.
That's the nature of core values, right? They either reject or welcome other people. So I don't know. Entry of Thomas as well more recently.
Yeah.
Okay, Thomas, man, shares our DNA, and I wish we could get him out of Canada down to Minneapolis.
Trying really hard on him.
Or I'm sure like twisting his arm.
Elbow.
But Thomas, man, is a whole new thing because, he's doing all these product-related videos, and he's showing how people do it, and he gives energy and enthusiasm to what he does.
Even if you don't like the product, you want to watch it.
I got to tell you, I don't know the people at Big Al's, but the dumbest thing they ever did was let go of Thomas.
There you go.
I don't know. He's the man.
Our benefit.
I don't know. Like shares our values. He's like, I want him to move here more than just like for videos because, like, the moral culture and DNA you can get within the walls, the stronger you are.
Yeah.
Thomas will be part of our strength if we can get him here. So tell Thomas.
Thomas, everybody,
move to Minnesota.
Everybody tell Thomas to move here.
Yeah. All right. So at this point, I find out Simon's our golden circle. I don't know if it's this point, but if anybody's ever heard of Simon's golden circle, this is probably the biggest reason that we're actually successful here.
Grab a drink for this one.
All right, so golden circles. This is my takeaway from watching it. It says there's 3 little circles on about any old company out there. It's what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. And so he says basically, I'm gonna sum it up. You should go watch it. But almost everybody knows what they do. Sell pumps, I guess. Almost everybody knows how you do it. I don't know. We do it online.
Online.
Right. And almost nobody knows why you do it because they think they do it to make money.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. That's not the point.
That's really not the point, man. And so it's every great company has knows what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. Right? And I didn't know this, but like the EOS patent from EOS, that's that implementer that early on helped us out. He was teaching us this stuff without us knowing.
Oh, teaching these things exactly here, yeah.
Okay, so in this case, what BRS does, he built into it early on. What we do here is provide high-value products, solutions, and valuable information that makes reefing fun and easy. We don't sell pumps.
Yeah.
What we do here is not sell pumps.
No.
We provide high-value product solutions and valuable information that makes reefing fun and easy.
Yeah.
All right.
That's very defined.
Well, and it's because that was told to us early on, we painted it on the wall, we talk about it at every quarterly meeting, it's built into the DNA.
Yeah.
And we just didn't know it. How we do it. So most people would say, well, you sell it online. No. I think that some people think that. How we do it is through carefully selected products, essential info, and helpful service.
Yeah. 3 uniques.
That's how we achieve the first thing. Okay, and why do we do it is to help people enjoy their tanks and build their dreams. It's the theory of reciprocity of helping people achieve their dreams that actually makes the money. People who want help, people that we help us. It's just in your DNA to help other people, that theory of reciprocity. So instead of why you exist to make money, we're here to help you enjoy your tank and build your dreams and be more successful. That theory of reciprocity, if we achieve that, hopefully you'll buy something from us. And that just turns out to have worked. And so, I think the real reason, the thing that some of these things have etched into my life in ways that I just really never kind of expected. Yeah. Because these lessons apply to all over in life.
Everywhere.
Right? And so the real lesson is the theory of reciprocity applies to my relationship with my wife, with Randy, with my friends, with anybody. And you think about it, and most people who want to try to get something, try to convince the other person to get them. That's like commercials and marketing 101. Let's convince this person
that they need
what they need.
Yeah.
Right? But actually, this applies to my relationship with my wife, with my business partner, with all of you. The quickest way to get what you want from anyone is stop thinking about what you want. Start thinking about what they want. If you give it to them, they will naturally care about your needs as well.
No.
It's just true. With my wife, if I really want something from my relationship with her, the best way to do it is actually think, what would make her life better? What has she been asking for? Instinctively give it to her, and then when I need something, she'll instinctively give it back. It's not the adversarial relationship of, why aren't you giving me what I need, right?
Yeah.
It applies here too. And so, I think that that's the DNA of the success of BRS. I mean, all this stuff kind of leading into here is, yes, we're a business. We actually want to make money. We want to pay the employees and keep the walls up. But the quickest way to do that is stop thinking about what we want. Think about what you guys want. And if we give it to you, you'll probably want to give us what we want, which is money to keep the walls up. I don't know. All right, so here's the future.
Yeah.
So that's the story of BRS up until this point.
Up until today.
Where are we going in 2025?
I don't know.
All right,
That's only
so we
5
got up
years.
to about 8:30, right?
No, we've got till 7.
We're going to go right now.
We have to be at
We're going to be
8.
quick. All right, so this is where we're going here, actually, in 2025. Did I miss one?
Yeah, you want that
I missed
bottom
one.
piece.
Okay, so the next thing you're going to see out of us, it's 2025. Imagine all this.
Think about that.
Yeah, okay, this is where we're going.
Time machine.
Because that was part of all the other things we did. We're going to be on TikTok.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't have TikTok yet, but I guess I'm going to have to get
It's a
it.
perfect venue for watching an
Super
eel
quick.
eat. It's a perfect venue for watching how to feed a coral. It's a perfect venue just to appreciate our tanks. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but TikTok is going to be the next thing. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. If you want to see us on TikTok, or if you hate that idea, let us know right now.
I tried Snapchat, but that didn't work very well.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Okay, so next thing you're going to see, every last product we have has a video. Okay, before I was really nervous about this because sometimes people they don't like the product related videos. It's a shilly thing to do or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just like everybody else now, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to listen to that. It's our duty to help people understand if this is the right tool for the right job, and then show you how to use it as well. Thomas and then others, we're going to get everything done in the last plumbing fitting. So you know, no matter what it is that you buy from us, that you can expect that standard from us. It's a big task because we probably only have a few hundred of them on products, and there's 4,000. So do our best. More investigates. The BRStv investigates, I found, is something that we do uniquely well. We're uniquely equipped to do it, so let's do more. Uniquely equipped meaning that you guys support us, we can support back. So we can invest resources here to do it. And there just aren't that other many places in the industry that have the ability to spend money that way. You guys support us, and so we just support you back. So I think you can continue to see more investment into BRStv Investigates, answering those questions to the things that we either think we know or don't know at all.
Yeah.
I think you're going to start to see us asking suppliers to make BRS versions of products that we'd use here.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we're now finally at the size where we can flex our muscle a little bit.
It's called doing the Costco thing.
The Costco thing. Yeah.
Making Kirkland brand, making
I want
BRS brand.
16 and a half year apexes. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, what I want now is, I really like the product that you sell, but if it did these 3 things, it would be better, and we would use it here. I now have the ability to buy enough of these things that they will do it.
Yeah.
Right?
And put the BRS name
Yeah, like,
on
well,
it.
fine. If you're willing to commit to buying 6,000 of them, we will make them.
Yeah, because
I'm going to do it.
It wouldn't have the BRS label if we weren't going to use it.
So you can probably see that in the future. All right, you're going to see calculators covering everything known to man. Apps, for everything known to man.
Awesome.
We're going to continue our preferred reefer contests. However, you've seen a big escalation of the contests in the last few months. We're no longer limited by what the industry does. We can do what we want to do.
Yeah.
So we can give back, in the last one, we gave $100,000 worth of stuff out in a week.
Customer appreciation.
And you know what? Like, you guys ordered more stuff than ever, and it was a reciprocal relationship. We just gave out tons of stuff as a thank you, and you guys essentially said you're welcome and placed a bunch of orders. It was a great experience for everyone. I think we're going to help out wholesale in local fish stores.
Yeah, big one.
So we, for those of you who don't know, that we actually wholesaled a lot of fish stores, and one of the things they say is we don't need more products, we need more people. Well, you know what? We have the ability to, we have addresses and stuff for a lot of customers. So, you know what? If you want to send coupon codes or whatever, or not codes, but like flyers, come get a free fish to the store. We can throw those in the boxes to the people that are going there. Yeah, I don't know. We can add value to the fish store and help them survive in the environment that they're in. Okay. And we're going to continue solving the biggest problems that reefers face, and make our best attempt at solving them with information and gear that works.
Yeah.
We're going to continue that process
go.
because it's in our DNA. And we're going to dare greatly. Okay, so I wanted to share with you, you've heard a lot of failures today.
Yep.
You've heard how nervous I am and how, the 5 thumbs down kills my soul, even though there's 500 thumbs up, And all my friends in the industry all know, man, all this stuff, I'm take it very seriously, and it keeps me down sometimes, you know? And then somebody shared this one with me. It was Dare Greatly by Theodore Roosevelt. And I read this every time I'm down. I'm going to share it with you guys now because it's a part of my DNA now. He made a quote that says, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error or shortcoming, but who actually does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so his place shall never be with those cold, timid souls who never know victory nor defeat." So every time I'm down, I see those 20 thumbs down, I remind myself to just keep trying. I share this with the team constantly. Everyone here has heard this 1,000 times when they're down. It's the failures, man. The willing to take the risks and do the things that other people aren't willing to do is the reason why we'll succeed. Keep failing, and we'll find the other side. So I got two things I'm going to leave you with. By the way, we're going to go join Terrence at Neptune's live right after this one. So
8 p.m. top of the hour.
8 p.m.
Wherever you are, top
check
of
us
the
out
hour.
over there.
Yeah.
And which is just in 30 minutes. But I'm going to share with you two things. Normally we'd leave you with some video we've done before. Now I'm going to share you with two other people.
Not even our videos.
Not our videos, no. So one, I want to share you with Simon's golden circle that's up here somewhere, or will be in a second anyway. Yeah. And then I'm also going to share with Dare Greatly by Brene Brown. It's a TED, both of these are TED Talks. So it's a TED Talk of the golden circle, the why, how, and what everybody does.
Yep.
And then the Dare Greatly and the process of vulnerability. Man, she was the one that actually really brought home the conversation from Theodore Roosevelt. And the part here that she hung up on this a lot was she would focus on the 10 people who doesn't like her and forget about the 10 million who do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us do that, and it's just absolutely silly. And so it's the 200 people that will thumbs up this video today that really matter to me. And you changed my life, the trajectory of my life, how much joy that I've had in my life and that I get to share with Randy and my family and Dave and everybody here. And it's just what I needed to hear so that we can change each other's lives together. So I'll leave you with these two things, the golden circle, as well as Dare Greatly with Brene Brown. So we'll see you again probably very soon with the next video.
Yep.
I don't know, live, I don't know when the next one is.
Thanks to Mike Horan for the $2 there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Bring back BRS Elmo.
Oh yes, the Elmo. That's the one, man. That's one. Maybe we'll talk about it in the live with Terrence in about 30 minutes. See you guys then.
See you guys then.